Hello, it's Gail here from Three Wise Crafters and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to create a card with some Spellbinders products, including the June BetterPress Society registration press plates, which is called Summer Vibes. The Happy Birthday to You sentiment from the A Little Message sentiments, and Precision Layering A2A dies. So I have a piece of white Distress Heavy Stock cut to an A2 size, and I'm just ink blending Seedless Preserves Distress Oxide ink onto our card panel to create a sunset background. So Distress Oxide inks are really easy and forgiving to ink blend with. So if you have some in your stash and you haven't tried this technique before, give it a go. You'll be surprised at how easy it is and how quickly you can ink blend on a background. So here I'll just go in with my Spellbinders Mister Spray and I'll spray that onto my silicone mat, and this just makes it really easy to clean up my mat. It will stain a little bit depending on what colour inks you use, especially if they've got a red or a pink tone to them. So now I'm going to ink blend Abandoned Coral into the Seedless Preserves, and that will just add more effect for our sunset background. It was at this point that I wasn't sure whether I liked the colours or not, but I kept going with it because I wanted to see how the finished card looked first. But it did look very vibrant and the Seedless Preserves sort of looked out of place. But it did come together at the end, so I was pretty happy with how the card turned out. And it was a valuable lesson for myself just to keep persevering with the colours that I had chosen and make the card and see how it turned out before I made a judgment. So here I'm going back in with the Seedless Preserves just to smooth out the ink blending, and now I go back in with the Abandoned Coral, and you need to do this to smooth out the transition between both of your ink colours, just so that there's no harsh lines. So now I have Distress Oxide in Dried Marigold, and we'll ink blend that into the Abandoned Coral, and this is where our sunset starts to take effect, even though that Seedless Preserves is sort of bright and hitting you in the face a little bit with how purple it is. But it does tone down. You just need to let your inks dry back and to absorb into the cardstock a bit. So once we've done the ink blending with the Dried Marigold, we'll end up going back in with the Abandoned Coral to smooth out that transition again, just like we did with the Seedless Preserves and the Abandoned Coral. So creating this background didn't actually take long. And as I said earlier, Distress Oxides are really easy to ink blend onto your card panel. So creating backgrounds with them doesn't take long at all. And there is so many different color combinations that you can do together. A blue background in different shades would have been just as effective with white spatter or splatter to create a nighttime scene. So there I've just gone back in with the Abandoned Coral to ink blend and smooth out that transition. So now I have Distress Oxide Tumbled Glass, and this is where I'm going to sort of create a blue panel on our card background to give the illusion of water. So I found the tumbled glass was a lot harder to ink blend onto my card panel, and I did need to change the position of my hand on the head of the ink blending brush too, which you'll see soon. And that was just so that I could apply a little bit more pressure, which then made it easier for me to apply the ink. So these blending brushes that I'm using, I just got off Amazon, and they come in a range of colors in a set of 10, I think it was. But the details will be listed below, so as will all the supplies used in today's video. So make sure that you check out the video description for all of those supplies. So once we've finished all the ink blending, we'll be able to move on to do our press plates. And this is when the card starts to come together. So here I have Express It removable adhesive in a tape runner, and I'm just applying that to the back of our card panel. So I can adhere that to the clear plate or the platen of our BetterPress letterpress system from Spellbinders. So with registration plates from Spellbinders, there's an acetate sheet which you can see there on the magnetic platform, and that just gives you a color guide on where to place your press plates just to make it easier. And then this allows you to use different colors. So now I'm using the BetterPress ink called Cosmic Sky to do our water effect. So I always tend to go back and forth and keep applying ink. I sometimes don't think that the press plate has enough ink, but once you run it through the die cutting machine, you end up finding out that it does have plenty of ink on it. As the magnetic plate is magnetic, obviously, the press plates stick to that really well. Occasionally it'll move because of the acetate sheet, but it's really easy to reposition it back where you need it to. So once we've finished applying all of the ink, we'll be able to run our BetterPress system through our die cutting machine, and we can see how it turns out. Now, when I took the platen off, my card panel had come off the top. The adhesive hadn't done its job properly, but it hadn't shifted going through the die cutting machine, so it was okay. So here I have some Stays-On cleaner, and you use either that or the Ranger archival ink cleaner, stamp cleaner, and that'll clean off your press plates really well. And here I just use a second cloth to do that. And then you can spray your press plate with a little bit of water, and that will take off that oily residue that your Stays-On or your archival ink cleaner will leave behind. So now I'm using Saffron from the BetterPress ink range, and I'm just applying the ink to the sun. And I did find that it moved a lot on the acetate sheet, but it was really easy to put it back into position, which I end up doing once I have applied all of the ink to it. Now, this was a really vibrant color, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go on our background because our background was quite bright in itself. I was a little bit worried that the saffron ink would disappear on our background, but it ended up turning out okay, and it sort of gave more of a orange look to the finished card, which I didn't mind how that looked. So you could just try different ink colors to see how it turns out. So now I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I tend to use this a lot on my press plates. It applies a good, thick, even coverage over all of the press plates, but I hadn't taken into account that I was using Distress Oxide inks, and I wasn't really happy with the impression that it gives us on our card panel. So I ended up looking at it for a little bit and deciding that I didn't really like it. So then I went in with the BetterPress black ink and applied that to our press plate. And as we had guides on with the acetate sheet, it was really easy to make sure that that press plate hadn't moved. Usually they don't move, but sometimes I do find that something does shift, and I end up with a double impression at sometimes. Not all the time, but occasionally it does happen. So once I've applied all the BetterPress black ink and run that through the die cutting machine, we'll see here that it actually looks a lot better on our card panel, and I was really happy with how that looked, and nothing had shifted either, so that was a bigger bonus. So now I'm just inking up the jetty in the BetterPress black ink as well. A brown would have looked really good here too. but I decided just to stick with the blacks to create that sort of sunset shadow sort of effect. But when I ran it through the die cutting machine to do the letterpressing part, it sort of changed the tone of the black ink a little bit with the blue underneath, and it sort of created like a blue effect or the illusion that it was blue. But I didn't mind how it actually turned out. So again, it's one of those things that you just need to try it and let it dry and see how it turns out. So now I've got the happy birthday to you sentiment from the a little message sentiment, and I'm just applying the BetterPress black ink to my sentiment. This is a fine detail sentiment, so I always find it's harder to see the ink on the press plate, and I have a tendency just to keep applying more and more ink to it. You probably don't need to do that, but it's just a habit that I've got into because I'm not 100% sure whether the ink's on it or not. And I'm just repositioning it here just to make sure it was where I wanted it to be. So it doesn't really stand out here on the camera, but you can certainly see it in person and it looks quite good on our card. So now I'm just using the third largest die from the Precision Layering A2A die set and run that through my die cutting machine. And that's just to create a smaller panel. And then you'll see me do the same with a piece of black cardstock. And I'll end up using a larger die. I had left my tape runner on the back, so it had stuck to the clear plate here. So for the black card panel, I'm using the second largest die, and I'm just creating a mat for our card panel. And this was really easy to do. So if you don't create mats or panels for your cards, give it a go. It looks quite effective on the finished card. So now I have my score pal and I'm just scoring a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 long by 8.5 wide. And then I've scored that at 4.25 and I'm folding that in half. And then I just use my scoring tool just to crease out our fold line a lot better. So here I have Gina K Design Connect Glue in a fine tip bottle, and I'm just applying that to the back of our card panel. And don't apply too much. So if you use distress ink, so whether it's a distress ink or distress oxide, they are water reactive, so don't apply too much wet adhesive. You could use double-sided tape instead. Otherwise, that can come through on your colored card side of the panel and change the look that you're going for. So just be careful of that. So here I have some 3M foam adhesive and I've just put that onto the back of our card panel. And now I'm just tearing a little bit of low tack tape and I'll create a circle with that and I'll place that inside of my folded card. And that's just to hold them together. And it makes it easier to apply or adhere your card panels to your card base. So I like putting some wet adhesive. So I've got the Gina K Design Connect Glue here. And I just put that on our foam adhesive just to make sure I've got a little bit of wriggle room when I adhere this to our card base. So here's our finished card. So I hope that you've enjoyed watching today's video. If you have, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel while you're there. Thank you so much for watching.